Good morning, everyone. Hello and happy Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Tell me what you were up to this weekend. Did you get some things done out in the yard? Did you enjoy the last little bits of summer? I know we're into football season now, so that was a big yes. Susan says hooray, even though her team didn't. Well, one of your teams your teams won, the other one lost.
Yeah.
So so lots of football happening. We have some nice crisp weather this fall so far. I'm enjoying it. It's not so extreme heat and humidity, so that's been nice. And I spent the weekend in Minneapolis celebrating our oldest daughter's birthday, so that was fun. Exhausting but fun. So yeah, it's been a good start to fall so far. I guess technically it's still not fall yet, right? Everyone knows the date. I always forget. It's the 21st, I think, of September. Official turn to fall. A beautiful weekend for Gail, some yard work and a Little League game. That's fun. Ooh, Angela had 7 trees down this weekend from a storm.
Oh, no.
That's crazy. We did get some rain around here.
Oh, thank bless
Yes,
the Lord.
yes. We were really needing some rain around here, so that was good. Penny says she can't hear me. Is it just on your end? I think others are hearing me okay, so maybe check your speakers. Luann, hello. You got some much needed rain down in southeast Iowa, and Denine's here, raining in Kansas. Sounds like it's been rainy for everybody, which is great crafty weather. So who's ready to keep going with our birthday celebration? We're getting one day closer, right? Only one more sleep until the big birthday release happens tomorrow. So what I'm going to share with you today is actually not yet released, and what I've shared with you previously on Thursday and Friday last week, all of that will release tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central on the Tailored Expressions web store. You'll get an email when that launches, but then I will be going live tomorrow at my normal 10 o'clock time, and we'll talk through the rest of the products that I haven't yet covered in one of the sneak peek lives. And I'll also be able to show you lots more samples using the products that you've seen so far. So definitely tune in for tomorrow. There's always some good tips and tricks and things that you might have wanted to know before you placed your order, but you can always place more than one order. The free shipping threshold is just $50, so we're not able to add on to your orders. Just remember that for tomorrow. So if you are only wanting to place that one order, just make a good double check. Make sure you're seeing your freebies added to your order before you check out, that you're seeing everything that you want to have in your cart before you push that go button. So, all right, today, since I mentioned freebies, we have to talk about freebies today.
Woo!
Everybody loves a good freebie, right?
I love a good freebie.
And you guys, would you agree the freebies are more than good this time?
I know!
Yeah.
I'm so excited!
They're so fun. And you can get these freebies a few different ways. So we have some that you can earn with purchase, and some that come with the first 1,500 orders are going to get one of our party favors. And those are orders of $50 or more. So as long as you get to that free shipping mark, you're going to get one of our party favors. That's one of my favorite parts about going to and planning birthday parties. So my kids, when they were younger, we did these extravagant parties, and I would always theme the party favors to whatever their party theme was, and it was so fun. So when I thought about this year's Tailored Expressions birthday bash, I thought, these are all of our customers. These are the people we've invited to our party, and I want them to have a party favor. And so this is how we have decided to work out the party favor. It will come free with orders of $50 or more, and we're going to talk about it first. So here's a little sneak peek of the party favor, and I am going to go through it with you guys today, so you'll know exactly what's going to come with those orders of $50 or more. And again, that is just the first 1,500 orders, so don't wait too long, because that is a limited quantity item. So let's take a look at what's in the party favor, a little bit closer look. So it comes in this cute little bag. It says Tailored Expressions Party Favor on the front, which you can't see very well because of all the goodies inside of it, but I'll show it to you once I empty it out here. Okay. So there's a look at our cute little bag. It's printed on the front. It says Tailored Expressions Party Favor in our signature teal color. And then inside the bag, you get some favorites. Favorites from us to you. Everybody loves a good little treat, especially.
I need those.
You what? You need them?
I need these. Need gummy bear energy too.
Yes, especially on your birthday, you need some treats. And these are one of my favorite gummy candies. Albanese is the world's best gummy, and that's what they say, but that I agree.
I agree. They're my business favorite too.
They are.
I didn't believe it until I tried one. I was like, these make my mouth water. They're so
They
delicious.
are so flavorful, and these are the little mini ones. So fun little 12 different flavors of these mini gummy bears that you'll get in the Party Favor. Next up, we love stickers here at TE. And you get 2 stickers that you get to decide what you want to do with. You can put them on your laptop or your water bottle, or you can put them on an envelope if you want. This one is a rainbow, says Share Joy, super cute. And then we have the rainbowed gradient with the Tailored Expressions logo on it. So some fun, cute little stickers. Can't wait to see what you all do with those. Then this is something kind of fun, a little something different. More crafting, less thinking. You have your color inspiration cheat sheet. So this is a little booklet you can keep. It's the same size as our half cards of inspiration cards, the ones that Susan stores in her little Tupperware container, and we use for determining what we want to use for a color combination. So these are for each of the kind of main holidays and occasions. So you get one for Halloween, Christmas, birthday, Valentine, and Thanksgiving. And I have chosen for you some different color combinations that you might want to try. So we have a bright Halloween combo, we have a traditional Halloween combo, and then we have a rustic Halloween combo. And this continues on for all the different holidays. So then we have traditional, retro, and rustic for Christmas. Then we have birthday, Valentine, and Thanksgiving in there as well. So a fun little color inspiration piece that you can use for future projects. Then I think
love those.
I love how that turned out too.
Everybody's loving these. These are brilliant. I'm
Oh,
like,
good.
I want to get my hands on one too, 'cause I have trouble with this.
I know, it's so useful to have, and I love that it has multiple different ones on each card. So depending on what the style is that you're going for, you could pull out the retro combo, or you could go more rustic, or you've got your traditional. So very useful little gift in the Party Favor there. Speaking of useful gifts, I think this is the one that everybody's been looking forward to. There have been some guesses about this on the fan page where we've been showing sneak peeks even earlier than today. And here it is. We have a new and exclusive birthday coin die. These have been lovingly called coin dies. They are not worth any money. Well, I mean, I guess they are kind of worth money, but don't take them to the dollar store and try to pay with them. But they are little dies that feature kind of an image in the middle, has a piercing line around the outside, and we've shown so many different ideas that you can do with these. And our birthday theme here for the coin die is candles. There are 3 little candles in the middle of that die. All right, last but not least, everyone loves a discount, right? So I'm gonna actually cover up the discount because you don't get to use it until it arrives in your mailbox, but this is a coupon for $5 and off an order of $25 or more. So that will be a future order of $25 or more, and it expires the end of October. So you'll wanna keep tuning in for Tailored Expressions releases through September and October in order to use this coupon on a future order. So there you have the Party Favor. Fun, right?
I love everything.
Okay. See if I can get it all back in this little thing, because I don't want to take away from one of the potential 1,500 orders that are going to get one of these. So
Number 1,500 is going to want theirs.
yeah,
So
we're going to seal this back up. There we go. This one's coming to somebody. Touched by Taylor.
I know, right? Sorry, it was touched by Taylor.
All right. right,
that
so
increases value.
next up, let's talk about our freebies that come with our larger orders. So typically we do a freebie with a purchase of $100 or more, and we are replacing that normal freebie for the month of September, which is called Peace Within. We are replacing that for our birthday release with this adorable birthday blowout layering stencil. So the stencil will come with orders of $100 or more, and then we are adding our very first 3D embossing folder to the mix. Yay! With this release, you can earn the birthday blowout 3D embossing folder with orders of $175 or more. So if you spend $175 or more, you're getting the birthday blowout layering stencil, the coordinating embossing folder, and the party favor. So let's take a look. Oh, I love everybody's comments. Love it.
They want you to sign that party favor you touched.
That would be hilarious.
That would be. I'll put a little.
Get a Sharpie.
Post-it
Yes.
note or something.
Someone who didn't watch the live would probably get it and be very confused.
That's so true.
Okay, let's take a look at this stencil then. It is a 4-layer stencil that creates this really fun candle pattern. You can see it on the back here on the side where you've got 3 different colors of candles and then the flames to go on top. So that's what the stencil looks like. And you guys probably guessed it, we're going to craft with this today. I'm going to show you some different ideas for using this fun stencil and creating this pattern. I love that you can do it in so many different color combinations, really for just about anybody. I can't imagine a person who wouldn't like candles on their birthday card. So here's a look at the 3D embossing folder. So this is intended to add some extra detail to your stenciled pattern. And let me pull in a sample here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is a look at one of the ones we're going to create today, but you can see here that I only used the layering stencil on this particular sample. Now I'm going to pull in this sample and show you how it's similar colors, but this one uses the embossing folder, which adds those little dots into the background. It also has some extra detail inside the flames, and it pops up the candles at different layers. So a 3D embossing folder, if you haven't heard of those before, has multiple different thicknesses or dimensions. So it gives you a more dimensional 3D effect than a normal regular embossing folder does. And it does happen to coordinate with the stencil. So we're going to talk about all the tips and tricks on how to use those type of embossing folders, because they aren't like your typical embossing folders, especially when you're using them to coordinate with something else. There are some tips that you'll want to hear on how to do that. But this really looks great as an embossing folder by itself too. The pattern is just perfect alone. I know it's really hard to see. I wonder if I have something black here, so then you might be able to see the pattern a little bit better. So you can see the pattern is really nice and full, that you can use it all by itself. You don't have to use it with the layering stencil, but it does also coordinate with that. So what do we think of the candles?
I love the candles. I mean, they're so versatile, and with the embossing folder, I think that's great. A lot of people are asking which one comes at 100, which one's 175.
Okay, yes. So that graphic that I had up, it did say, but the layering stencil is 100, and then the embossing folder is at 175. So,
Perfect.
yes. Okay, so should we start crafting today? I think we should.
What you gonna make?
I'm gonna make a card.
Oh!
I know, surprising, right?
I know, shocked.
Oh, okay. Well, we are going to take first a little piece of adhesive. This is just Scotch permanent adhesive, and I'm putting that down on my grid paper placemat. Now, sometimes I do love to use a grid paper placemat because I have these nice lines that coordinate, and it allows me to trace onto the placemat with a pencil. so that I can use those alignment squares that are part of the stencil. So we're going to start with layer 1 of my stencil. If I can find it here. Layer 1. Here we go. Got some teal tape. Sandy's ready to buy herself, or Sandy's ready to buy herself some gifts. She says it's her birthday on the 17th.
What?
So that's fun.
Happy birthday!
I'm glad everybody likes the candles. I think we have some fun sentiments that really work well with the candles. Yeah. Isn't there one, do we still have the sentiment set called Bright Birthday? Can you look that one up?
I don't think so. Because I own that one, and I don't think so. Oh, yes, we do. I'm sorry.
Hooray!
Do you want me to bring it over?
Oh, sure, if you can find it. I think that's a fun one that goes with lots of candle imagery. So that would be a great one to...
Is it funny how you didn't think about this before?
I know, I didn't. I thought about it right now.
We should have used it on some samples, but you're missing one. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Oh, okay. So here's that Bright Birthday set that has some fun candle sentiments. Is it hot in here, or is that just all the candles on your cake? So many candles, so little cake. Put another candle on your birthday cake. I love this one. Go ahead, light your candles. I've already alerted the fire department.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and there's a sentiment in our Snarky Birthday Insiders that talks about, am I having a hot flash, or is that just all the candles on my birthday cake? So I love that one too.
That one.
Okay, so I started with pink champagne for my first color, and I did just 4 of the candles with that. Now I'm going to come in with guava. I'm using a little bit of an unusual color combination this time that I kind of hadn't really ever used before. I don't know, I hadn't thought to put it together. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of that guava, and we're going to do the remaining 3 candles here. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of guava to the bottoms of these candles for some dimension. Okay. Next up, we're going to bring in some dragon fruit, which is kind of where the unusual part of this comes from. Pink champagne and guava are our companions. Typically, the 3rd companion with this would be fruit punch, but I decided I wanted to go a little bit brighter, a little more unusual, so I went with dragon fruit, and I really loved how it turned out. So I'm going to grab my dragon fruit, and I'm going to pop that in along the bottom of the guava candles, just to darken it up a little bit. And then that first layer is done. Before I take this first layer off, I'm going to use my pencil to mark the squares on the sides here. You can see that it is lined up within the 6x6 square that's on the placemat, but I still like to have the alignment squares in there. All right, so we'll take this layer off.
Somebody said, it's my husband's birthday this week. Does that mean I get to buy presents? Doesn't he like stamps and foil, stenciling? Like,
that's funny. Yes, I vote yes. Something for you and something for me.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
That's how I shop at Christmas.
Oh. We should have something that says that.
One for you and one for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I'm going to start then with guava. Or actually, nope, I'm not going to use any guava on this layer. Sorry, had to think. I'm going to do pink champagne again first, and I am Gonna just spread that around on a few candles. I want a few candles that are only pink champagne, so I won't be using anything to add dimension on these. I just want to get a true light pink candle. And then we're gonna do some pops of color with dragon fruit candles. My dragon fruit pad is very well inked, so I do kind of use a brush off onto my placemat for that ink pad. I can also brush off onto the stencil material and then kind of continue to pull the ink over into the open area of the stencil. And that helps me not get such a dark, intense color right off the bat.
We're mesmerized by your beautiful blending techniques.
All right. So we're done with the pinks. We're gonna pull off the second layer here. And then we're gonna do layer 3 with a blue, or a teal I should say, because teal's my favorite. I really don't use blue. And a blue, a teal, and a green. So I'm going to start with the green. I chose Kiwi, another color from our May color release earlier this year. So this is a newer one in our collection. And I'm going to go ahead and do, I don't know, again, maybe 3 or 4 candles with the Kiwi color. It's kind of a fun green. It's more of a yellow green.
Yes. I really like those 2 new greens. The dill pickle.
The dill pickle, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kiwi check. We'll bring in Cookie Monster here. I'm going to use a little bit of Cookie Monster to highlight the bottoms of the Kiwi candles. I am thinking ahead on my card, Whitney and Susan, and realizing that I forgot a Cookie Monster strip of paper. 3/4 inch by 4.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's easy.
Sometimes I forget things.
Crafty Pit Crew to the rescue.
Yes, thank you, Crafty Pit Crew.
I need a shirt that says that.
I think that would be awesome. We should make those.
Yes.
Do we know anyone here that makes t-shirts?
I know. I know.
And do you want me to cut it by 4? Or do you want to cut it down yourself?
You can cut it. It should be fine. Okay, here we are. The candles are complete. We just have the flames to add. There are a couple different ways you can do flames. So I'm going to take a pause here and show you one of the ways to do them. We're not going to use this panel on the card today, but I know we all love to see the magic of foiling. So I'm going to bring my Mink in here because I prepared this ahead of time and then I went in a slightly different direction. But do you guys see that shine on the card panel? I used the flame layer here and I used glitter grab with my Nouveau Media spatula to apply that. Then I let the glitter grab dry and then that's what's going to help the foil adhere when I send it through my Mink. So I have my transfer carrier sheet, still loving the Tailored Expressions foil. This is going to get probably overused if there is such a thing in my craft room because you just pop the top to Foiling Fun if you didn't see that on Thursday last week. And out comes your roll that has 25 feet of foil on it. This one is the Gold Shimmer, which I I don't know if I have a favorite yet, but it has potentially become my most used. I feel like I use it a lot. I use it for sentiments, for anything that I don't want to be too busy, because it's just a really pretty shimmer. So I'm going to cut off a piece of that. Normally I have my large foil scissors, but we're just going to hack along with my tiny little scissors here for this one. And then I saved a small piece of my sticker so I can just put that back on the roll. If you're going to end up storing them like this, just keep the little piece of the sticker that comes with it, and that's how you can keep it from unraveling. But Whitney has been busy cutting down my foils and storing them like this, because this is how I like to store them for easy access. Whitney, do you want to grab those labels right there, and I'll show those, because I'm not sure I got a chance to show those on Thursday last week. So we have our TE Fun Foil labels for you guys. They will be available at the web store tomorrow for the birthday release, and they just slip right in here on the pouch label area of our perfect pouches, and they are toner foilable. So all of our other pouches actually look foiled. This one is foiled in black, so it really doesn't look much different than the printed ones, but the rest of them we foil in the color that's stored inside to make it really easy to find what you're looking for. So once I have my foil cut, I am going to slip this inside my carrier sheet with my Foil Magic shim, and then we'll close that folder and send it through.
I can't wait to foil those labels and get them all set up. It's like on my to-do list today. I'm like,
Today is the day.
She's adorable.
I get it, and I'm just like, let's do it right now.
She's adorable.
That's awesome.
Let's organize, Whitney says. So excited.
Taylor loves to organize too.
I do. I just am usually making things instead. Okay, we're almost through the other side here. We'll pull this out for our big reveal. Here we go. We need a song, like a foil reveal song. I love it. That wasn't the song. So pretty, so perfect with that glitter grab. Just an excellent way. It would look great with our Stars and Sparkle foil too.
Oh, yeah.
Silver would even look really pretty. I went with gold for a more traditional, flame color, but would look really great in silver also. Okay, so we're going to go a little different direction on this, and my flames are going to be embossed. I wanted to show you guys how you could emboss your flames, and I'm going to be using gold embossing powder. Now, after you've blended on a panel like this, you want to make sure that your panel, your blended area is super dry. I know it feels dry to the touch. It's not smearing anymore, but there's still some moisture in the paper. And even if you use your powder tool over this before you do your embossing, it still sticks to that moisture. So I'm gonna hit it with my powder tool really quick, just to give it a little bit of extra drying help. I know this is often recommended when you're using black inks and then you're planning to color them with alcohol markers. But it also works well when you have a blended panel that you want to emboss over the top of. That fine detail embossing powder will really stick to all the things, any kind of moisture. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to take and place this back down. I'm going to try and line it up with my my kind of overside areas so that I have it in the same place. And then I am going to powder it. I'm going to powder and powder and powder it. Because again, you might still have a little bit of that moisture left in the cardstock from the ink that you applied. And now I'm going to take my flame layer I'm gonna align that. Make sure everything's looking good. We'll tack that down, and then I have Versamark ink, which I will use to press through the design of the stencil. Just kind of pushing that ink through. Okay. My ink pad I know is not super juicy, so I did give it some extra good squishing. But if you have a very juicy ink pad, then you may not want to squish it too much, or you could have kind of some travel underneath there. Okay. Okay. Pour that over the top. And then I have a or a paintbrush waiting here next to me, just in case we need to use it to get any of that excess powder off, even though we used our powder tool. But I'm going to do my little tap trick here. Give it a good tap against your paper or maybe a garbage can. And I'm feeling pretty good about this.
That turned out great.
I think it looks perfect.
Yeah.
I might pour just a little bit more up at the top here. I missed a spot.
Your paintbrush ready.
I did, but I didn't need it. No. Hooray. Okay. There. I feel good about that. Let's pour this gold back in. Grab my mini mitts, also used for snacking. Okay.
No snacking yet. It's too early.
It's too early for candy. No burned fingers over here. Just making sure I'm getting each of those candle flames heated.
Sorry, you have to tell the truth, because now they're all saying it's never too early for candy. It isn't around here. That is fibbing.
That's true. I'm fibbing a little bit. I'm trying to I can't even say it out loud. It's sad.
To not eat the candy.
Yes, I'm trying.
Not to eat the candy.
Honestly, I've found out that I have an allergy, and I'm pretty sure it's sugar. So we're still working on the official diagnosis, and some days I'm just like, oh, never mind, I'm gonna do what I want. And then other days I'm like, why am I torturing myself? Getting sick from eating something. But sugar, everybody likes it.
Yes.
Okay, so here we are. We have that panel that has the pretty embossed gold on it, and now we're going to use our embossing folder. And there are quite a few tips with this. So if you have a pencil for taking notes or something like that, you might want to do this, because Susan and I, we are not new to this, and we still continue to have to remind ourselves of these little tips that are going to make this all work together well. Now, one of the biggest tips that you need to know when you want to coordinate your stencil design with the embossing folder, you actually need to put a little bit of wetness on the back of your paper. So you can use a baby wipe to do that. You can use a very light mist spray bottle. That's going to allow the paper to I guess, form within the openings of your embossing folder. It's going to make it a little more pliable, which is going to help the design line up better. I don't have all the sciencey reasons for why that is, but it's just truth. So if you try this with just dry paper in here and you want them to coordinate, they aren't going to coordinate very well.
And the cracking. You get little
and
cracking.
You do get the little cracks when you don't use that baby wipe on the back. So let me get my machine in here before I wet my paper. This is the other kind of thing that's a little bit different for all the machines. So if you have like the Spellbinders Platinum 6 machine, I know that they have a special shim that's specifically for 3D embossing folders. If you have the Big Shot, it's a little bit different because these are thicker because of the multiple dimensional depths of the embossing folder. They are thicker than a normal embossing folder, which means they don't go through your machine with the normal embossing folder method. So the way that I have found in my Big Shot to work is to use our foam, or I guess it's not really a foam. This is our embossing pad kit. We use this when we want to emboss with stencils, so maybe you've seen us do that before. There are 2 different thicknesses in each package that we sell. I'm just going to start with the thicker of the 2. Depending on the tension of your machine, you may also want to add in the thinner one. But I am right down here on the platform, so all I have here is the platform. And then I have my embossing pad kit. And then I'm going to take my embossing folder with my piece inside of it, and I'll place that down next. And then last comes the cutting plate. So you're actually only using 1 cutting plate. If you want to try this before you even put any paper in there, you can do that to kind of see what the tension is. But please, please don't force your machine. So
no bad idea.
Yes, bad idea. Take out a layer if you have 2 in there, and that will help. But don't, if you forget that you have a cutting plate down here and you try to push it through and really cram it, you could, well, as with anything, if you were to do that with a regular embossing folder with 2 cutting plates, you would also hurt things. Yeah. So just be careful as you're figuring out your whole setup with whatever machine you have. And I believe Jill Hawkins posted what her sandwich was for the Gemini machine as well. So we can put that on our website, some of the suggested 3D embossing folder sandwiches for the different machines. Okay, so we have everything kind of ready. We have our panel that we've done. Let me grab a baby wipe. I'm going to flip this over so it doesn't obviously affect what we've stenciled on the front, and I'm just going to take and wipe this across the back to give the paper some moisture. Okay, and it will start to kind of curl. That's normal. That's okay. That means that you added moisture to the paper. So our next step then is going to be to line this up inside the embossing folder. So you kind of have to do the peak method from the top until you get it just about in place. And then I like to pull the paper slightly down from where it looks to be perfectly aligned. Like I'm talking maybe a millimeter, because when your paper first, or when your embossing folder first goes through the machine, it pulls your paper slightly up towards the top of the folder, up on this end. Sorry, I'm not quite in frame here, I'm realizing, because I'm trying to get this all lined up just perfectly. And shifted. Okay. Sorry, it takes a little bit of brain power too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can't talk either. Yeah. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about where that landed on my embossing folder, and I'm ready to send it through. You want to send it through with the folded end first, because like I said, it kind of, the rollers, when you pull the embossing folder in, it kind of tends to just slightly shift your paper with it. So if you're putting it in this way, it's going to pull your paper this direction, and you're really going to notice that your embossing folder and stencil pattern don't line up. So put it in this direction with the fold first. Make sure your paper is over the top of the squishy part of the embossing pad kit, and then we'll put our one cutting plate on top and send it through. Ta-da! We have a beautifully embossed pattern. I love the little dots that are added in the back. You can see the little flame detailing that's on the gold flames that we created. We didn't get any cracking in our folder or in our paper because of adding that little bit of moisture. So there's how you get a perfect result when you're using the stencil and the embossing folder together. Hurrah!
Yay!
Okay, you guys, I need to stop for a drink.
A sip of your caffeine?
It is just water, so.
Oh, just water today.
Okay, so next I've kind of designed this card to look like this one. This one uses the pretty foiled candle flames, and this one has the gold embossed candle flames, but I'm going to do this layout with this panel. I did want to point out, in case you guys tuned in for my live last week, I did a layout really similar to this on last week's live. It was on Friday with my little dinosaur card, and so this was one that I cooked up and thought it was fun, but I thought, oh, I should show you guys a different layout. But I really am loving this layout where you have kind of the diagonal, and then you get to place the extra piece on the inside of your card and kind of write your message at the top. But we're going to do something a little bit different. More ideas are always better, right?
I love that big wish on that one too. That's gorgeous.
Yes, what is that called again? Ring around the words, right? Yes. I do love that one. Okay, we're going to bring this back in.
I used it on mine too.
You did. Let me show yours. So Susan made this beautiful card using just the embossing folder here. You can see the easy strips in the background, and then the embossing folder embossed the whole panel after the easy strips go down. And then she used just a little bit of sugar cube ink to kind of call out those embossed details, which I think is really fun. And you can see, I like how you did yours kind of at an angle. Your wish is kind of angled.
Yeah, I like that too. I did it on purpose. It wasn't
Yeah.
an accident.
And you put a little star for your eye. That was cute too.
Adorable.
Good ideas.
Brava,
Thank
Susan.
Trash to treasure.
That's right. It might have been a trashed piece, but she turned it into treasure.
Love that.
Okay, so I've got my black foil, and I'm going to use just a little piece of that here. I have a small scrap that I can cut to go on this sentiment. This is the Treat Yourself Foil-It pack that I'm using here. So I've already die cut the sentiment. If I'm being honest, I think it was probably Susan that die cut the sentiment and left it there for me to use later.
We thank our past self.
Yes, thank you, past Susan, for cutting that out for me. And now we're going to place that black foil over the top and send it through. I did do that on this card. I foiled the sentiment in black, and I just love that it kind of steps it up. It makes it look classy, and it gives it just that little bit of sheen, kind of like when you emboss with black embossing powder. And we love to do that too.
Yes.
Do you need a song for when your foil is going to
Yeah,
the
it's like the Jeopardy final question song. Charlie always says foiling is so much faster on YouTube, and that's true because she speeds it up for all of my videos that get posted on YouTube. But we can't do that during the live. Okay, let's peel this away then.
This is the best part.
Yay! With black, you know, it's not quite as
Right.
amazing, but look at that beautiful.
You still see the difference.
toner transfer. I mean, you can see how perfect that is on the leftover piece of foil. There's no leftover specks of black foil. We got a perfect toner transfer with all of our wonderful tools, mostly my favorite, the Foil Magic Shim.
Yes.
It has been amazing.
People have already chatted about it a little bit.
Okay, good.
Yeah. People are still loving it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this down to a vellum circle that I cut from our stitched circle stacklets. I don't know if I've talked too much about the precision glue press, so if people start asking questions, I can dive into it again. But it is something I've talked about, I think, on every live I've done since I got it.
I know.
One of my favorite.
We're just a tad bit obsessed.
One of my favorite new glue tools. Okay, so before we can adhere this down then, we need to do this little strip of paper, and it's got some fun polka dots on it that are gonna coordinate with the polka dots in the background. I had Susan cut me that piece. It's 3/4 inch by 4. And then I have my, what do we call this stencil? Mini Slim Swiss dots?
Swiss dot.
Was
yes.
it? Okay. I do still have a brain.
And it's super easy to line it up, shift it if they want it on an A2. I do it all the time.
Oh yes, because
Yeah.
it's a repeatable
Yep.
pattern. So
Yeah.
yes. All right, let me grab my Cookie Monster ink. I really don't want to bother with the tape, but I'm going to.
Just in case.
Yes.
Your future self will thank you.
True. It will keep me.
I'm sorry, it's called On the Dot.
Oh,
Mini
on the
Slim
dot.
On the
Okay.
Dot.
Thank you. Who discovered it?
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I always get that and Swiss dots, so I wanted to make sure.
Yes. All right, so we just did some tone-on-tone blending there with Cookie Monster ink over Cookie Monster cardstock. Then we can place that down on our panel. Still got a little bit of moisture left in my candle panel because it's from that baby wipe. So it's a little bit bowed here, but that is a-okay. It will flatten out as soon as we get it adhered down. Press it into place there. It can be a little difficult to adhere things to embossed panels, especially with liquid glue. So that's why I like to turn it over and just really press it into place. Then we need some foam tape on the back of this. I've got my little roll of foam squares. I'm gonna hide the foam pieces behind the sentiment that we adhered down to the vellum. Sometimes I can get away with not cutting it super small, but then other times I need to cut it in some smaller, thinner pieces here.
Lori Craig says she's been gone for 3 weeks, so she needs to know about this glue tool.
Hi,
Everyone's
Lori.
telling her about it.
Welcome home. Okay. It has been a little odd, I said this morning, having a live every day for the last, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm having a hard time telling what day it is. But it's been fun. Okay, we'll put that happy birthday down then. And then I have my embossed sentiment, happy birthday, eat all the cake. And I'll adhere over the top of that. I think I got it. Can't decide if I want it centered or not centered. So I keep kind of pushing it around. That's the beauty of liquid glue. You get that little bit of time to kind of wiggle it. All right, last step, we're going to adhere our finished panel to the card base. I've got my 1x3 thin foam strips. Since I already have some foam on the panel, we're going to use the thin foam to pop this up just a little bit off of the card base. I'm using Cookie Monster for my card base. Alrighty, place that down, get it nice and centered. There we go. Ta-da! And we have the foiled version next to it, and I think that's super fun. I did not attempt to add the embossing folder design over the top of the foiled design. Honestly, I spent so much time doing this, I wasn't sure how the embossing folder would react with the foil, but I'm going to try that on a panel here, and so I can give you guys an answer on whether it's a great idea or not a great idea to emboss over the top of the foiled pieces. So let me show you a couple other samples that I haven't shown you. I did show you guys these, so those are what Susan and I have been playing with, but Susan also created this one using one of our large scale sentiments, the Happy Birthday to You, on vellum over the top of another one of those panels with the candles and the embossing folder combined. And then Heather's got a beautiful set of cards that she created. She's got a video that will go up tomorrow when we release this collection, and so you can hear from her on her tips and tricks for aligning the stencil with the embossing folder and creating this fun design as well. Hooray! We did it!
So
what time can we start buying tomorrow?
I know.
Yes, it is tomorrow. Only one more sleep. And 9 a.m. Central is the time that all of our new products go live. And if you've watched all of the lives so far, you still have not seen the full extent of our birthday release. We have some more things coming with the release tomorrow that you have not seen yet. And so I will be using those and introducing those on the live tomorrow. And I think if you've been paying attention on our fan page, then you know the theme of tomorrow's sneak peeks. And if you aren't or have not seen those, then you can join our fan page and find out what is left for our birthday release. So it has been so fun to share the best of TE with you guys over the last several days. I hope you've enjoyed the live videos, and yeah, I think that's it for me today. I will see you tomorrow for the big day! The big day! 9 a.m. Central Time for the release, 10 a.m. Central for the live. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.